And okay, we're good. So thanks for coming on, you guys. It's October 2nd, which is so crazy. So it's our October team call. This last month we went for a team goal of 101 points, and we got 50. And like that's actually pretty good. I was like, whoa, that I was impressed. Like that was so cool. Hey Nat. Hi Natalie. Well, I was just telling the girls that we're gonna do a quick Success Club shout out and then quick announcement and then quick meet and greet. And if new coaches keep coming on, then we'll add them to the end. But Danielle's coming on at 7:45, so we'll let her share and then we'll go from there. But I was just saying we had a team goal of 101 Success Club points and we got 50, and that's like actually really killer. So I was super impressed by us. So we need to, once we get everyone's Success Club goals for this month, we'll set a new team goal. So make sure if you didn't post your goals on the agenda for today, do that so we can make our team goal. Let's let Erica talk about Success Club from September.
Okay, so we had a tie for the top earners between Kara Jane and Lindsay Martinez. Both had 10 points, so awesome job. Natalie came in strong with 8. Jocelyn and Tierney have 6. Erica or I have 4. Emily 2. Jessica Abernathy 2 points, and Brennan has 2 points. So awesome job, team.
So cool. So awesome. Congrats on everyone's earnings. That's really, really good. So we have a tie for first place. So we're going to have to figure out the prize, but I'll figure something out good. And then you guys know tanks, hats, and I always just figure out something else if you've already gotten that. And if you're waiting on an old Success Club prize from August, I'll still get it to you. I was just waiting for this month to end because I thought I might have to double up some packaging. So it's coming for you. And the hats really are cute. So are the tanks. So, okay, sweet. So let's get into I'm sorry, I'm going to do fast announcements. Clean Week does start October 3rd, and Erica posted an awesome graphic for us in the team message board. So save that so you can remember these things. Clean Week, October 3rd. That $250 diamond bonus, the second quarter is about to start on October 4th. And so remember the requirements for that is to hit Success Club October, November, December. And you have to be a diamond or higher. So you have to earn diamond rank and then hold it for 6 weeks while getting those Success Club points during all those months. And that's like just a freaking awesome prize. 250 extra bucks for what you're already going to get for doing your job and hitting Success Club. So shooting for that for sure. New Coach Online office is about to come out on October 9th, which will be so awesome. I've heard great things about it, and if you guys haven't heard about it, it's just supposed to be like streamlined and easier to use. Let's see here. Success Club prizes from corporate for October are going to be double time cinch bag and workout towels. And then once I figure out what the grand prize for October for our team is, I'll show that. And then UK market launch is October 19th. So there's lots and lots going on in October. So we have a lot of chance to do something great this month. Every month is another chance. So meet and greet. What we wanted to do is go through really quick. Just tell us your name, your rank, how long you've been coaching, and for veteran coaches, what one thing would you do differently if you were given the choice to start over as a coach? And for new coaches, tell us what are you most excited about with your business right now. So name, rank, how long you've been coaching. Veteran coaches, tell us one thing that you would do differently. And then new coaches will go into what are you excited about, but the same questions at first. So I'm going to start with my top left, which is Bernadine.
Hello. Sorry, I'm doing too many things at once here. My name is Bernadine Brookley. I've been coaching for not even a year yet. So I don't know what that's considered, but I'm not ranked at anything. I'm like the bottom of the barrel, but I'm gonna get up there. I'm just ranked as a coach. So I could answer the what I could do differently thing. When I started off, I tried to jump in too fast, I think, and I was really hard on myself because I'm not anywhere near where I want to be, but I've kind of stepped back and taken a breath and like kind of started over again. So I think I'm on the right track now. Here's the other questions. Get it?
No, that was perfect.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks for sharing with us. Okay, so then I'm going to go to Kara Jane, who is my top right. Go for it. And hi, Callie.
Hi.
And I don't know who's on the phone. Who is that? That's okay. We'll keep going.
Hi, I'm Kara Jane. For anyone who doesn't know, I am an Emerald. I've been coaching for 2.5 years or something. And the biggest thing that I would have done different is just start inviting to the business right away, even though I had no idea what I was doing, but not letting fear hold me back and just jumping in, because you just learn as you go, and it's better to go forward and fail than just paralyze yourself and not move forward at all.
For sure. I would agree with that. 100%. Let's go to Erica right under Kara Jane.
Hey guys, I'm Erica. I'm an Emerald coach, and I've been coaching 2.5 years. Sorry. And I think what I would do differently is just get into the habit, or just make it a everyday, I guess, behavior of the very first thing I do is invite to challenges into the coaching opportunity, because that seems to be the last thing I get done, and it always needs to be the first thing.
Yeah.
And Jocelyn reminded me of that today. So
yeah, it can be stifling when you leave it at the end for whatever reason. And so, yeah, I agree. Okay, Jess, let's go to you, dear.
Oh, okay. My name's Jess. I've been coaching since January. I don't have a rank, and what was the other part?
You can tell us what right now are you like just pumped up about in your business?
The 21-day group that Emily started. I'm excited to do that.
Nice. What is it?
Frightfully Fit, I think that's
cool.
what it's called.
That's right. I saw that. Yeah, that sounds really cool. Awesome. Thank you, Jess. Let's go to Joss.
Hi, I'm Jocelyn. I've been a coach for 3 years. I'm an Emerald, but I was a Diamond, so my main goal is to get to a Diamond. And like same thing as Erica and Kara, I wish I instead of thinking about it so much, just doing it. Just instead of just taking in all the info to maybe someday do it, just do it.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's go to Natalie. She's under you.
My name is Natalie. I'm a Emerald. I've been coaching for a little over 2 years. And along with everybody else, yes, I would definitely, I wish I would have gotten better at inviting more people to challenges and especially coaching. But I think for me also is I wish I would have learned what actually talking to enough people was, because I thought that I was talking to enough people, but in all actuality, I really wasn't. And I think I'm just now starting to figure out what that number actually is. So my advice is if you feel like you're talking to enough people, talk to at least 10 to 15 more people, and then you'll probably be good.
Agreed. For sure. Okay, let's go to Callie. So Callie, we're just saying name, how long you've been a coach, and one thing you're excited about in your business.
Okay. So my name is Callie Lundy. I've been a coach for like a day?
Yeah. Pretty much.
And I'm just excited to hopefully pay for my Shakeology and my kids' sunshine and possibly make a little bit of a vacation fun for the family.
Heck yeah. That's so cool. Welcome to your first call.
Thank you. It's fun. I wasn't sure how to do it at first, but I figured it out.
I know, and Zoom is really weird when you first get on. It's like, oh my God.
I still don't understand how you guys are messaging people.
Right here, if you click on your bottom, there's a little toolbar on the bottom, and you can chat.
Uh-huh.
You can click chat, and then you can actually type things. If you're on your phone, you might not see it.
I'm on my phone, so I may not see it.
Yeah, I don't think you'll see it on there. So on your computer, there's a big toolbar there. Okay, cool. Let's go to Kelly.
Terrible. I never use my computer.
Oh, this Zoom is a lot easier on your computer. I will say that.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll download it to my computer too.
Okay, cool. Kelly, what's up?
Hi.
Hi.
I figured it out.
Yay. So we're just doing what your name is and how long you've been coaching and what you're excited about right now in your biz.
Okay. My name is Kelly. I've not been coaching very long, but I've been involved with this for about a year now. And I want to start getting back into things and putting some effort into my business.
Awesome. I'm glad you're on here.
Yay.
Cool. Well, Danielle should be popping up anytime. I'll tell you about myself really quick. I'm Tierney, and I've been a coach for a little over 3 years, and I am a diamond. And one thing I definitely agree with what everyone said. But one thing I would definitely not do is get lost in trying to reinvent the wheel, and thinking that you have to create your own trainings and have a team page when you have one coach under you. That's okay to do, but it creates extra things for you to do and can be kind of stressful. So I would say just don't reinvent the wheel and use what we give you, and truly just put your own spin on it, your own personality on it, of course, but don't spend time trying to recreate all the stuff that Beachbody and your team has already given you, because it's so time consuming, and it sucks when you make something and it doesn't do well and you already had the format. So that's that. And this is perfect timing because Danielle is on. Hi, Danielle.
Hey, how are you guys?
Good. Thanks for coming on.
Of course.
We were just doing a quick meet and greet because we have a couple new coaches.
Awesome.
So I'm going to introduce you really quick and let you roll. Let me open my text so I don't forget anything. So this is Danielle April, and she and I just started being Success Club partners or Success Partners. She's super awesome. She just had a baby, 3
weeks and 3 days ago.
Yeah. She's got 2 kiddos, just had her second. And she's a lifetime 3-star diamond. She's been a coach for 7 years. She's a Success Club All-Star legend. If you don't know what that means, it just means she's been killing it since she's started. She has earned herself financial freedom. She's also a personal trainer and a former labor and delivery RN. She calls herself from overworked, high-risk nurse to stay-at-home mom, bringing home her active duty Navy diver husband, which is so freaking cool. And she just is really, really great at what she does. And I wanted to hear from her because somehow with every single thing she has going on, she's still on track all the time. And she's got it down. And I think she'll tell you what her secrets are, and they'll probably not be secrets at all. They're just fun to know. But I'm just excited to hear from her because she totally hit Success Club. Like, I think was it Success Club 10, like a couple days before you gave birth.
Yeah, that was August. So, well, when I thought I was going to give birth, yeah, I was due August 31st, and I hit Success Club 10 in August. I had a bigger goal, but 10 was awesome. It was great. And August is a big month of struggle for a lot of people because it's the end of summer. People are kind of disconnected. Everyone's going back to school. So to have a big month in August is always an exciting thing. Mm-hmm.
For sure. That's so cool. And you got right back to work, like she was like ready to roll. I mean,
yeah, people asked me about maternity leave, and I was like, I'm not quite sure what I'm leaving. I can do everything from the comfort of my couch. So, but it's different. Do I kind of think I should have taken 6 weeks? Yes, but to let 6 weeks go by is kind of crazy. Physical fitness wise, I'm not doing any of that stuff. So fitness wise, I'm, checked out, but business wise, it's been really good because I got back to myself pretty quickly. So a lot of people see that, and it's being proof of the product, not only of Beachbody, but of what I do as a personal trainer as well. And just showing that, when you make it a lifestyle, it's a lot easier to bounce back and to go through these things and whatnot. So yeah.
That's so cool. Very cool. Well, I'm going to let you just kind of take it away and tell us just how you keep it all together, how you keep going with such a crazy schedule, and maybe some of your best practices, if you want to share those with us.
Awesome. Yep, I wrote those down so I wouldn't forget, and I'll share those at the end to keep you guys engaged. But it's been 7 years, so it feels like forever. It doesn't feel like 7 years, but when I say 7 years, it's like, wow, to think of what's been going on since then and what my journey has been. And what I want you guys to take away is that some things might make sense to you, some things might really speak to you, but the biggest thing over these 7 years is the fact that I've always taken initiative. I've never waited for someone to give me permission. I am blessed with an amazing upline with Trina. However, we're very similar where she's the same. You know what I mean? That she takes initiative, she doesn't wait for permission, and that works well. So those similar personalities. I have a harder time with my coaches who need a lot of structure because I don't have that. I really like just kind of doing things and failing at them. And if it doesn't work, then I just get right back up there. And it's all about different personalities. So you guys got to figure out what speaks to you most and what makes the most sense to you. But as I was getting on and Tierney said, there's so much that's already in place and so many tools and resources there. Don't, redo the wheel and stuff like that. Go with what you can, but tweak things here and there to have your own personal touch on them. And it makes it a lot easier. So I started in 2010. I had gotten married in March of 2010 and decided to jump into the personal trainer world and start to wean my way away from the nursing world. It was just stressful, a lot of long hours. I just knew long term that I wasn't going to be there forever. And I met Trina at a personal trainer's mentorship. So I kind of jumped right in, and I surrounded myself with other people who were already in the world that I wanted to be in and that I wanted to become and I wanted to get to. So I met Trina there, and she wasn't even really doing Beachbody Hardcore at that point. She kind of just was starting to get a little bit more into it. And she shared that as well, how many years she was in it before she even did anything with it. So for me, I kept hearing about Shakeology. I had no idea it was even connected with Beachbody and the fitness stuff. It was just other trainers who were talking about supplements. I had never done supplements. I was about to turn 30. And for me, it was for me in the beginning, like many of you guys. So even though I have the nursing background and the personal trainer background, I got started for my own nutrition. And I jumped on with Shakeology and I gave it a try, absolutely loved it. And from there, it was just personal. I invited a few friends. I got my mom on board. It was just people who I knew would jump in with me and who would like it because they needed the change, but it wasn't working the business right away. It was just dabbling and getting my feet wet and kind of learning about the Beachbody business in the back office and stuff like that to start. So So that was my first year. And in 2011, I had started my own business. I was really excited about personal training. And then a military life, we got uprooted. My husband went to diver training for 6 months. I was under the impression that we would stay in California, and that wasn't the way that it went. And if you are military or no military, it is a whirlwind, and you think one thing and they totally throw a curveball all the time. So I left California kicking and screaming. I didn't want to leave. It was hard on our marriage because I didn't want to leave. I had created a really strong and thriving prenatal fitness business. I was a labor and delivery nurse. My world was in San Diego, California, and I was pretty devastated when I left. However, that opened the Beachbody world for me because this was the first time that I actually had use for the business. I said to my husband, do you think I can kind of dive into this and see if I can make it work? And he was like, sure, that sounds good. I think he was like, whatever's going to make you not yell at me for moving you across the country is fine. So I dabbled in it, but I still let, how do I say this? Quick money was a lot prettier than the hard hustle in the beginning. So I had the opportunity to do a strike nursing position, so I took it. And then I had the opportunity to do a travel nurse position, and it was so distracting. But it was a win because it was a huge experience for me to realize that that distraction of my RN world was worth walking away from. And that even though the money was nice, it wasn't what I wanted. And it was quick money, but it was worth it to put more into the Beachbody thing and not be distracted by that nursing world for a little bit. So in 2012, I was pregnant with my first child. And then after I had her in September of 2012, it was my calling. I was like, this is it. I'm staying at home. I'm diving into this business. So 2013, January, literally, is when it all started for me. I believe it was either December of 2012 or January of 2013 was the first time I hit Success Club. Maybe I hit it one other time before then, but from then it was Success Club every single month. So by the end of that year, I had become an all-star, which is 12 months of Success Club in a row. And I just showed up to everything. I was hosting some free challenge groups. I was popping onto the national wake up call. I was popping onto the team calls. Anything that we had going on, I showed up for. And what was a little bit easier, I think for me, I had a newborn, but my husband was deployed. So I really only had to play mom and coach. I didn't really have to juggle the spouse thing right away. And I think sometimes that can be hard too. And my husband wasn't really on board. He was drinking Shakeology, which was awesome, but didn't really believe in this whole thing, and kind of was there, but not totally there. And then when he came back from deployment, that was like the first time I got him to do a fitness program. I kind of like mandated it. I was like, you have to do this so you know what I'm talking about and that this is legit. And even though he works out every single day and he's a diver, he's been a college athlete, Beachbody programs are still to this day the only programs that get him the results that he never thought he could get, and that other people see and they're like, what are you doing? And it's hard to believe, right? But because we share that journey, and because other people know what our lifestyle is and how active we are, when they see that we get the results from these programs, we're proof the product works, and it's easier for them to jump on board with us because they know that we legit do this in our everyday life, and these are the programs that get us there. So 2013, I was all in, new mom, postpartum journey, hubby deployed. I worked around my daughter's schedule. It was really important for me to not be on the phone with her all the time, not be on the computer with her all the time. So I was blessed with a child that napped for like 3 hours. So I really took advantage. But then when she went through those growth spurts and it was 15 minutes here, 20, 30 minutes there, I really learned how to chunk my time. Right? So you hear about people talking about power hours. I broke those up. So I was very overwhelmed by an hour of work if I thought something was going to take me that long. So I said, okay, what can I do in 15 minutes? And I would break it up. And if she was still asleep 15 minutes later, I'd say, okay, what can I do in the next 15 minutes? And I would just chunk that time out. And not for just moms, but even people that have a busy schedule. If you have a lunch break and you're like, what can I do in 15 minutes? And if that adds up to an hour or 2 hours in your day, day, you're going to see a difference in your business. You're going to see more connections happening. And you want to focus that time. So maybe you just send invites during one 15-minute chunk, and maybe you just do follow-ups during the other 15 minutes, but keep it focused so you don't feel like you're doing 5 invites, you're following up with 5 people, you're checking in with your challenge group, all in a 15-minute period is going to be too overwhelming. So if you do have to chunk that time out, make sure that you laser focus what you're doing so that you feel present and that you feel empowered by the work that you just did. And at the end of the day, you can say, I accomplished something with my business today. So 2013 was huge. And my primary focus, and this is key for new coaches, while we do want to build a team, and that's something that's exciting, and in the beginning, it really is inviting people to challenge groups, inviting people to the world you started in as a challenger, and, earning the commission from those first orders and things like that, and kind of just keeping your focus there. Because if you keep your focus there and you do it right, those people are going to want to become coaches on your team and just domino effect and recycle what you just did with them. Like, hey, I love that you invited me to this. How can I invite my sister? Or how can I invite my best friend? And then it's like, okay, you're ready to invite people. Now it's time for you to join my team, right? Everyone does it different. Some people invite coaches from the get-go. I did that because with military, they waive the fees. So when that first came out, I think 6 of my 8 coaches were military coaches, and they never did anything with the business because they just got the business for free. And they're my loyal customers, and they love Shakeology, but it was just a discount. You know what I mean? So I learned early on, I wanted to make sure that people love the product and that they're ready to invite people before I add them to my team, especially if I'm going to be putting my time, energy, and effort into them as a leader. So in August of 2013, which was only 8 months later, but remember, I had been in the business for a little bit and I was all in and hard charging, I transitioned to a team focus. We were just starting Rock the Basics. So Rock the Business and Rock Solid Start that you guys have probably been in or put your coaches in, that started in 2013. And I was part of the beta group of leading it with Trina and Vito and Sarah Morrison. And it was probably the best thing I could have ever raised my hand for on this team, because putting myself in that leadership position, surrounding myself by these top coaches and people who wanted to be top coaches, put me at a whole different focus and mindset. And now I was leading Zooms and I was leading the training, and I had been in the business for a couple of years, and that doesn't matter, but it brought me to the next level. It had my team see me at a leadership level, and it then just domino effect. My coaches started to do the training, started to start running their own teams, were in a leadership position, leading by example. They were able to follow in my footsteps, and it kind of all set pace from there. So that was 2013, and I'm breaking this up so you guys can kind of see the years and how things are going. So right at the time that we were starting Rock the Basics, we had a huge marital problem, and it was a huge setback. And I actually called Trina and I said to her, I can't do this. Things are like falling apart in my marriage. My husband was home from deployment, but kind of gone all the time. We had a 1-year-old, like things were all over the place. I was so distracted, and I was like, I don't know how I can lead other people if I've got all this craziness going on in my life. And she just said, Danielle, this is the most positive thing in your life right now. You don't want to let it go. And that was a game changer. It was the first big bump in the road. There might have been little bumps in the road, and I've never had the personality to let things get in my way, but this was huge. This was something that I needed to focus on at home, but at the same time, balance that coach life. And there were a few things running in my head, what was important. But when she said that, like, this is the most positive thing. And I've taken that to other people, and it's been amazing to see the difference for people who stick it out. And maybe it's not their best year, and maybe it's not your top growing of your team and stuff like that, but you stay connected with the things that are positive in life and the people who are going to lift you up rather than push you down. It's going to get you through those bad times. And I've helped many women get through those same things with those same words and saying, stick this out. It doesn't mean you have to build a business, but you need to stay in this community and this environment because not many people have that positive outlet, and that's what's going to push you through. And it seriously did. It made a huge, huge difference. And then I consistently saw my business grow. Even though I had those bumps in the road, I was surrounding myself with people in the direction that I wanted my life to go, rather than holding on to the negative of my life and focusing on that. So that was really big. And in 2014, let's see, I got all that. 2014 was when I hit All-Star Legend. So that's 24 months. And that was big because it's saying, like, I've committed to my team, to my customers, to my business for 24 months in a row with just that Success Club 5. I'm not a big numbers person. I don't hit them out of the park. I usually do for Team Cup. That's why I got Success Club 10 this past August. Usually Team Cup months, I push a little bit harder and I'm willing to get a little bit more than those 3 to 5 customers. Because it's for the team and there's a little bit extra push and motivation. But I hit the Success Club 5. I don't go crazy. So if you put too much pressure on yourself, if you need 10 because financially you need to be there, awesome. That's your goal for a personal financial reason. But Success Club 5 gets you there every single month and lets you know that your business is growing, that you're adding new people to your network, that you have the potential of growing your team. There's a lot more to it than just those 5 points. You've changed the life of 3 people at least, right? And that's something you can look back on. And maybe those 3 people don't go for the long haul. Maybe one of them does. But that's one life that you've been able to take. And those other 2, they'll come back when they're ready, right? Or maybe all 3 do. You never know from month to month what's going to happen, but there's so much more to that than just those numbers. And you have to envision that whole, what's the word for it? Yeah, that's not the right word, but you get what I mean. Like that whole package, like what does that Success Club 5 mean? It means you're changing lives. It means you've made an impact. It means you're inviting, you're putting yourself out there, which for many of us is way bigger than you ever thought you could. So if you've got those Success Club 5, that means you are hitting goals for you and for your journey as well. And it's keeping you on track. So 2014, I stayed really focused. I was on every call, every Zoom. I was leading Rock the Basics. I was leading levels 1, 2, and 3. Most people saw what I was doing and were like, I could never do what you're doing, and I don't know how you have time. And I saw my schedule and was like, man, I can't believe I wasted that hour watching TV. And it was like, I was already doing so much, and I saw that 1 hour. I was like, I could have gotten so much more done. But that's just where I was at that time. I was laser focused. I had goals. In the back of my head, my goal was to bring my husband home. At the same time, our marriage was in a huge struggle. So there was that, like, what am I pushing for? But that really was my ultimate goal, to be able to replace both of our incomes so that he had the option to get out if he wanted to. So 2014, Rock the Basics. One thing I put here was to always be present and show up to all the live events. So Summit. We didn't have our individual team leadership then, but we had Summit, we had all the Super Saturdays. Those are huge. If you have people that you want to invite to this business, then you want them to be going to the live events with you. So if you're showing up to them, they're going to be asking you about it. Hey, what's that thing you posted about this Saturday that looked really cool? But 2014 was really rough. In November, my husband and I officially separated, and at first I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have so much time. And this sounds bad, but we had struggled and been seeing a counselor for a year. So when we finally decided to separate, it was like a decision that kind of impacted us all. But I was like, I have time. Like, I have more time, like time that I don't have to take care of my kid and I don't have to be distracted. Like, I can really focus on this business. I went in the exact opposite direction. I'm like shocked even to this day that happened, but I was more distracted. I was less focused. I was lost. I was lost in the decision. I was lost in a failing marriage. I didn't know how to share that my marriage was failing, but that, like, I'm trying to share this positive and optimistic lifestyle, right? But at the same time, in the back of my head, I wasn't worried about separating or divorcing because I financially was at a point, whereas most women won't leave a marriage that they're not happy with because they financially can't. And I felt secure there. So that was a message I could share. And a lot of the things that I posted, I wasn't comfortable with social media. I wasn't comfortable with answering questions. So that transition from 2014 to 2015 was really hard for me. I am a social butterfly. I love people. I love going out and doing things. And I found myself a lot more introverted. I found myself hanging out with my friends who were separated or divorced because I could talk about it and I could share about it. I was going out a lot more. I'm not a drinker. I was drinking a lot more. My lifestyle habits were going the exact opposite direction. Needless to say, the sun does shine, and we did come back from it. So in 2015, we did get back together, and Beachbody is a huge, huge part of that because personal development was something that we both took part in. It was something I required in order for us to be back together, which for a lot of people, it's a make or break, right? Like if your spouse isn't going to contribute their time and energy, and it could be both ways, whoever's doing what. But in 2015, we got back together. We were still living separate until my husband deployed. He deployed, and that was really, really big for us. In 2015, I also earned the Financial Freedom Award with Beachbody, and was on the stage and walked the stage for it. They don't do it anymore, walking the stage, but you still get a certificate, and it's basically debt-free except for your house. And at the age of, 2 years ago, 35, 34, to be debt-free and have nothing except for a mortgage is an absolutely amazing feeling. It gives me chills just thinking about it. It wasn't just Beachbody that was possible through. It was how we manage money and being smart with our money and not living above our means and not taking that extra income and just running with it. That was huge for me. It felt really good to have that financial freedom. It just spoke a lot and really made me feel confident in what I was doing and believe even more in what I was doing, and even more believe in Beachbody that they've recognized us for doing those things. They have awards, and if you guys see it at Summit, they recognize people, and you used to walk on stage because of how many coaches there are now. They put your names up, but they recognize you for being credit card debt free. They recognize you for being 100% debt free except for your mortgage. And they recognize you for being debt free 100%, zero debt, not even a mortgage. And that doesn't matter what you make with Beachbody. That's just you. You can do that whether you're making six figures or whether you're making, I don't know, a couple $100 a month, right? It's our decisions to be responsible with our money and what we do, but they recognize it. They recognize so many things that we do outside of coaching and what our lives are. And that's one thing I love about this company and this business is that it's so much more than just selling a product. It is a lifestyle, a healthy lifestyle. Financial freedom is healthy. Living fit and exercising is healthy. Finding the right nutrition for your body to fuel your mind is healthy. And that's what this is all about. So in 2015, my husband was deployed. Hammer and Chisel came out, and I sent it to him for Valentine's Day. I don't know if that was, but he rocked it. He did Hammer and Chisel. He did the nutrition plan to a T. He did personal development to the T, every single day, and was doing marriage personal development. I didn't even tell him what to do. I just started him off with the compound effect. And I said, start here, and then from there, you can pick what you want. And occasionally I'd be like, oh, I heard of this one, because obviously me and him don't do the same personal development. But if you have a spouse that's not supportive or that you're struggling with, personal development absolutely benefits everyone. Yes, they are going to probably fight it in the beginning, but the compound effect, there's a reason we use it in the beginning of our training. It speaks to everyone. It speaks to everyone. So I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it for a spouse. I highly recommend it for anyone who's negative in your life. It will be a turnaround. And then I think, let me see. So we got back together. And in October of 2016, exactly a year ago, my husband had the choice to get out of the military, and he did. So because of that, I was willing to have a second child. And we did. So we decided to have baby number 2. And it's been a year since he's been out of the military. October 13th will be a year. We just had our baby, Grayson, on September 8th, the same exact day as our daughter, September 8th, 5 years ago. Crazy. And things haven't been sunshine and rainbows. It's been a rocky road. It was a huge transition. This has been a rough year. A lot of changes with Beachbody, a lot of changes in our life, a lot of changes. But I keep my head down. I have a success partner. I show up for the team calls. I make sure that I'm staying connected with my coaches. It's the little things that get you far that are going to make a difference. It's not big pieces of this puzzle. It's the little pieces that do it. So the 6 things that I'm going to share with you guys that really have made an impact over the last 7 years. Number 1, the biggest impact, the biggest thing that kept me focused and organized was setting a schedule, literally minute to minute. When I am my best, it's when I know what time I'm waking up, what time I'm eating, what time I'm going to work out, and it may not fall into place like that. However, when it's 12:15 p.m. and I'm flustered and my mind's all over the place and the baby's crying and just pooped everywhere or whatever's going on, but I have time, I can go to that schedule and say 12:15. What am I supposed to be doing at 12:15? And I stay focused on that schedule. It absolutely makes a difference. Schedule your eating, schedule your shower, schedule your intimacy times with your significant other, schedule your sit downs with your significant other and conversations and stuff like that, so that you put time for your family and you put time for your business, and you know when both are happening, and you can share that with your family as well. The number 2, follow-up is key. So many people who follow up with me, that's who gets my business, because they call me, they follow up, they check in. Every person who I follow up with, when I give a call and I'm like, hey, if you're ready to set up your Shakeology, if you're ready to get started, I'm getting my group set up, we can do it right over the phone. It'll take 5 minutes. And I'd say 90% of the time I get it done right then and there. And I don't have to worry about if they're going to be my next challenger or not. I'm on the phone with them. I'm putting the order in. I simply log in for them. I walk them through every single thing. I put the order in. I tell them exactly how much it is, what the tax is, blah, blah, blah. And I tell them everything I see, and we get it done. So follow up is the key. Check in with your people. Don't think you're hounding them. They will tell you when they don't want you to call back. Number 3 is the simplicity of the business. The 4 vital behaviors, absolutely 100% makes this business simple. If you're proof the product works, it means that you are following the fitness program, following the nutrition program, following the performance line, whatever it is you're doing, share it and be proof that these tools work. Inviting, absolutely. Personal development must be daily, and recognition, recognizing your team, recognizing your challengers, recognizing your leaders, recognition in any way that it can be. Other people are going to see that, and that fuels them. They're energized by that. So sharing those things is going to be super important. Number 4 is showing up to everything. National Wake Up Call, every Zoom. If you can't be on live, watch it as soon as you can. Listening to it in your commute in the car, that is personal development as well. Showing up and staying connected with this team is what's going to get you through those rough days. Every time I struggled, I would listen to a team call or I'd have a Zoom, and my energy would just, the second I'd be on, would just flourish. So even if I had a bad day, I got lifted up because of this team, because of this business, and because of what we do. Number 5 is attend the live events. I said it before. It's absolutely key. It makes a huge difference. Financially, it's a lot for some people, but those Super Saturdays absolutely are important. Create events of your own. Invite your coaches over, have coffee, meet and greets, things like that. Those are live events too. And then number 6, my last one, share your journey with others. I hated social media. I hated Facebook. I'm not like a social media person. I am a face-to-face social butterfly. Like social media to me, it was so hard because it just seemed so fake. And I was like, how can you be real on social media? And I've really worked it and taken the time to just share things in the moment when they're happening. I don't schedule out. I do things a lot different than other people, but it's real. If you go to my Facebook, it's like, what happened now, what I'm thinking now, what's going on right now. And it's as live and as in my life as you can be. And people appreciate that. So hopefully that was a lot. You're probably like, holy crap, this girl's life is nuts. But that's 7 years in a nutshell, and six to-dos that will absolutely make a difference. So yeah.
So awesome. Before we do a quick wrap up, I don't know if you mind answering one question right here from Cara Jane.
Yep.
How do you follow up with people who don't respond to your invite message?
Okay, so when it comes to follow-up, if you send the invite message and they don't follow up and they don't respond at all, then we have some, what are they called, scripts or whatever. And not that you want everything to be a script, but some of them are really great responses. And you can simply message them and say, hey, I saw that you saw my last message and maybe it got pushed to the bottom of your list. Or, hey, I saw that you didn't see the message yet and I really would love you to be a part of this group. And I think this is something that would really be good for you or that you'd be interested in. You can do that a couple of days later. There's no problem with checking in with all your people every month. Hey, I sent you a message last month, and this is something I really think that you would love to be a part of. I don't know if you have seen what I've been doing on social media, but I have this great group that I'm hosting. I'd love to hear back from you. Or nothing about the group at all. I have someone right now who won like WON, won a year free of Beachbody On Demand from something that I donated, and she still has yet to set it up. And now I'm just on the personal, hey girl, how are you? She's pregnant, so I'm like, I think you're past the tired and nauseous phase. I hope you're feeling okay. And just touch base on personal. Go to their Facebook page. If they're not posting anything, check in. Hey, I see you haven't posted in a while on Facebook. Is everything okay? Are you guys doing okay? Because there might just be stuff going on in their life, and Facebook is just not something that they check into. So kind of play with it a little bit. Reach out to your upline if you're really not sure. But checking into social media is huge. I've found a lot of people that I'm like, oh my God, their grandmother just passed away. I don't want to message them now. Like, I'll message them and say, hey, I saw that your grandmother passed away. I hope you have safe travels, and just touch base on that. But I literally have gotten so many invites to be a host for LuLaRoe and all this stuff in August. I was like, yeah, I'm having a baby, so that's not on my agenda right now, but thanks for the invite. And because I'm in an MLM, I'm polite about it and I'm going to respond, so it's off of their to-do list. But I was shocked at some of the invites I got. I was like, if you've checked my social media, you would know that this is not the right time to invite me to do this, right? So don't be afraid to check their social media and check in with them there and touch base on a personal level. And even if it's been a year, hey, it's been forever. At least if you're sending happy birthdays to them and checking in, people like to be noticed and appreciated, but they don't want to get only invites. They want to know that you're taking notice to what's going on with them as well.
For sure. Does anyone else have any questions? That was a good answer. Well, I have all these massive takeaways besides your sixth thing. That was just so good. So I just want to point out a couple things just in case you didn't hear this, because that was a great story. A lot was in it. She didn't start all the way on fire, like she said, but once she decided, she was in and she was hitting Success Club and it was a decision and she just made it happen. And that's such a hard thing to teach someone. I feel like you really just have to know it, feel it, do it. She showed up for everything. She was proof the product works. She worked with what she was given. When she had 15-minute pops of time, it was focused. She got it done. On to the next 15 minutes when she had it. Leadership and stepping up made her a better coach. People who stick it through the challenging times in their lives can actually gain so much from just being a part of this community and personal development. And I think all of us have challenging times in our lives. I know everyone on this team, I can think of something going on or that has gone on since I've known them. So laser focus, clear goals, live events, connection, personal development all the time, every single day. And then it's the little things that get you far. Those were such great things. And just Danielle, thank you so much for your realness and for really sharing your story, because it's hard to share real troubles and things that have happened. And I'm just so grateful. That was so great.
Oh, thanks. And you're welcome. And it is hard. And I'm at a point that I do share, and in the moment of it, things weren't shared, and it was so difficult, but it's been a learning experience. And I try to be as open as I can be with things that affect me. If it affects only me, I'm 100% raw and real with it. If it affects other people in my life, I have to walk on it with a fine tooth, because it's other people affected, and that's really, really hard for me. But I'm super glad that you invited me. I'm so glad to share this, and hopefully you guys have some takeaways and will benefit from it.
For sure. We definitely will. And I will stop record so that this actually loads and I don't mess up like I did last